Hi everyone, Sarah Picaro. I just want to warn you about giving or receiving unsolicited advice. So oftentimes when you are coming from a wounded, traumatic inner place and space, you want to be the rescuer, you want to be the helper, you want to step in and give this advice because you're naturally kind-hearted, loving, and caring, and you don't like seeing other people hurt, and you don't like seeing people struggle or suffer. So you step in and you give advice that you think should help them feel better. But the problem with that is if it doesn't, and oftentimes, majority of times it doesn't, because it's just one more thing that you're adding to the pile, one more thing to do on top of an already huge, gigantic mountain of things that they have to do, and areas where people feel like they're failing and they're coming to you expressing that and the ways that they feel like they're falling short and failing, and you're saying, well, just do this. Well, that's just another thing that they can fail at, right? So that's really not true transformation and healing. What true transformation and healing is actually about getting in to those places where you feel stuck, where you feel trapped, where you feel overwhelmed, where you feel exhausted, and removing, not adding more. And oftentimes when people give advice, that is what they're doing, is they're adding more. But it's this weird paradigm, because when you have inner unhealed wounds and you talk about them, what you're actually looking for is to become validated in your perspective, to feel heard, to be seen, to be understood, to connect with someone who gets it. But you're not looking for more, because you've already got more problems, and you're looking for release and for freedom from those problems. So you actually are seeking less, but people will give advice and give you more, which leaves you more stressed, more overwhelmed, more frustrated, more disconnected, more disassociated from your true, genuine, authentic self. And this is really, really prevalent in emotionally unavailable and emotionally abusive relationships. And it gets to the point where you feel like, I can't take it anymore. And that's where I used to be. And I literally and physically felt like I couldn't take it anymore. And I wanted to create a situation where that was the case, where I didn't have to take it anymore. But thankfully, I had a gorgeous and beautiful daughter who was my why and became my motivation, my inspiration to figure this out and to completely alter the trajectory and life that our path was on. And I've been able to do that now for several years, and love guiding people into that place within themselves to do the same thing. But it's very, very easy to get caught in the fixer role or the rescuer role or the helper role, because you feel like, well, I'm giving you a solution. Oh my gosh, you've told me about your problem. Well, I have the solution. Here you go. Just do this, and then all your problems will go away. And that is not the way it works, because you're working with someone who's been emotionally abused over a lifetime, who is confused. And confusion is often the first sign of abuse, because there's no mental clarity. That's why people that come to me say, Sarah, I can't think straight. I can't think clearly. It's like I have brain fog. I don't get it. I've tried all these things. I listen to binaural beats, I journal, I meditate, and I do all these things. And maybe while I'm meditating, I feel good. But then when I'm done meditating, like all the problems come flooding back. And I can't just sit around and meditate all day. I have a life to live, right? I have a job to go to. I have kids to raise. I have a relationship that I'm in. And it can be really, really frustrating, because you're trying to connect with someone to get out what has been bottled up inside, and then you feel like you leave like butting heads still with your own problems. So the transformation has to come from within, and it has to include releasing and removing and lightening the load, so to speak, not adding more to it. So unfortunately, there are so many ways that people go about that to try and feel lighter and feel released and feel free, but they end up oftentimes feeling heavier and feeling more drained and more depleted. So that is why I have put together the Transforming Past Pain to Present Power program, where we do just that. We do it in a safe and collective space, because there is power in healing together, and not and taking you out of that space of isolation where you feel lost, you feel stuck, you feel strained, you feel alone in this journey, and going through it with other people who have had similar past experiences, and getting to that place of removing, that place of clarity in your mind, in your body, in your heart, in your soul, not just focusing on one. Sometimes people just isolate and focus on one and think, well, if I just get healthier and I lose weight, then I won't have all these problems because my confidence will soar and then I'll feel better. And that's great, but oftentimes people will isolate one and just say, well, I just need a healthier body, and so I'm going to eat healthy and exercise, and then do that and think all the problems will go away. And they don't. Maybe sometimes you have even more problems because now you have done that and that should have worked and it didn't. So sometimes you can be venting about these problems to someone and they will give you advice on what you should do next, or things that have worked for them. And I think that that's great. There are so many different things that work, but connecting with your mind, body, heart, and soul, and really getting to the root and the core of what caused those problems, those beliefs, what caused that disconnect within you, is really where the healing is really where the transformation can take place. It's like this vessel in this container where that's a safe space for that to occur and to take place. And it feels freeing, lighter, and like you're releasing and shedding, not adding more to an already crazy, chaotic, and very, very busy life that I imagine that you have. So if that is where you're at, you're tired of all of the things that you were told to do or advised to do, and them not working, and you feeling maybe only a little bit better, or feeling even worse because those things didn't work, then I would love to connect and talk to you more about the Transforming Past Pain to Present Power program. There's actually a ton of information on it with other people who have completely transformed their entire life by engaging and in investing in themselves to do the inner work, to heal, to remove, to release, and to be free from this stuff. So if that is where you're at, I would love to connect with you and talk to you more. Until then, be careful about whose advice you take, because oftentimes it makes you feel even worse. Even though it does come from a loving place, it doesn't give you loving results. So that is all for today. I will leave a link in the comments so you guys can check that out if you were interested in learning more. Until then, we'll see you soon.